Hey guys, Angie B here again. Today's vlog topic is a tricky one, as all top 5 vlogs should be. The topic of today is Angie B's top 5 zombie novels. Now, if you know me at all, if you've been a friend of mine at LiveJournal, if you know me in real life, if you've checked out my vlogs, you know I'm really into zombies. I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse here, but for those of you who don't know, I wrote a zombie thesis my senior year of college, my junior and senior year of college. It was a whopping 98 pages when I got done, and I'm pretty damn proud of it. So I consider myself to be something of an amateur expert about zombies, you know, movies, novels, what have you. So I've read a lot of zombie books. It was pretty hard to narrow it down to 5. But before I start the actual countdown, I just want to say that there was a runner-up that I definitely want to mention because more people need to read this book. Cluck, Murder Most Fowl, okay? The author is Knapp, K-N-A-P-P. This is a fantastic book, okay? It's goofy, it's ridiculous, it has zombie chickens in it. I mean, really, you have to give the guy credit for writing a book about zombie chickens. So, if you like zombies, if you like horror books, if you like goofy stuff, check out Cluck. I have to give a pimp out to Cluck because it was pretty great. Also, thank you so much to Siobhan for getting me that book because, yeah! Okay, now to the actual countdown. Number 5 on the list goes to Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, written by Jane Austen and Seth Grahame-Smith. Now, this is only number 5 on my list because while it is great seeing Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy take on the zombie horde, I'm just, you know, it's kind of something where I feel like, yeah, it's great in small doses, and I like moments in it, but overall, it's just, you know, it's a good book. It's an enjoyable read, but it's definitely not one of my favorite books ever. I probably won't be rereading it very much, but it was great the first time I read it. I am excited for the movie. Natalie Portman will hopefully kick ass as Lizzie Bennet. And I'm just really glad that I finally got a hold of a copy of this. Thank you so much, Paul Roll, for this, because I probably wouldn't have gotten it otherwise. So, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies gets number 5 on the list. Number 4 on the list goes to Zombie Haiku. It's by Mecum. Now, I know this isn't technically a novel, but it definitely tells the story. It's just in haiku form. And what I love about this book is it's funny. There are some really, really great haikus. Like, drinking blood is really warm. It's like drinking hot chocolate, but with more screaming. So, I mean, it's got some great haikus in it. Also, the advertisement for this book that I found on YouTube is hilarious. If you really want to see some goofy, hilarious zombie mayhem and hear some of the great haikus from this book, just do a YouTube search for Zombie Haiku. It's pretty inspired. Also, this book has tons of great references in it. Dawn of the Dead, 28 Days Later. It's really good. So, I highly recommend Zombie Haiku. Number 3 on the list, Sir Terry Pratchett's Reaper Man. Now, I know technically this isn't necessarily a zombie book, okay? There are zombies in it, and there are issues about the dead not, dying, not going to the afterlife and lingering. But I definitely consider this a zombie book because it's Terry Pratchett's take on zombies, and it's great. They're like zombie support groups, and, you know, people that just want to die but they can't. And it's Terry Pratchett. He's amazing. This is also a really death-centric book. If you guys have never read these books, definitely check out Terry Pratchett's Discworld books. The character of Death is just absolutely hilarious, and it's a really good, touching, moving story that says a lot of stuff about humanity. Also, there's an evil mall in it, so I mean, how can you pass that up? Reaper Man gets number 3 on my list. Number 2 on my top 5 zombie novels of all time goes to Christopher Moore's The Stupidest Angel. If you've never read this book, you do not know what you are missing. Go to the library, go to your nearest bookstore, pick up a copy. It's well worth the money, okay? It's amazing. Not only is it just ridiculous and goofy and bizarre, but there are some great one-liners in it. The characters are amazing. You've got Tucker Case, who's this, like, jaunty, womanizing pilot, who also has a fruit bat that talks and wears sunglasses. And it's just amazing. Basically, the premise of the book is that a little boy sees who he thinks to be Santa being murdered, okay? It's a mall Santa, the guy's an asshole, there was a fight, he happened to die in the course of it. But to this little boy, he just thinks, oh my god, Santa's dead, Christmas is gonna suck this year. And of course, it's Christmas time, so God sends down an angel to perform the obligatory Christmas miracle. Unfortunately, he sends the stupidest angel, as you would guess. And the stupidest angel finds this kid, asks him what he wishes for, and the kid said, I wish that Santa wasn't dead. Well, the stupidest angel, being as stupid as he is, he accidentally brings back the entire cemetery, which leads to some great zombie carnage during the town's Christmas party, and it's just fantastic. This book has one of the best chapters ever written. It's all of one line, and I'm going to spoil it for you here because it's just that good, and I just have to share it. And the whole chapter is, well, that sucked. Amazing! Fantastic! I love this book. I love Christopher Moore. If you've never read Christopher Moore, he's great. Really irreverent satire. He's kind of like Terry Pratchett, only slightly more juvenile in terms of his humor. I mean, there's a lot more, like, bodily humor and sex humor and stuff like that in it. But he's really good. He's really funny. I know that Liz will agree with me. Christopher Moore's the shit. Check out Stupidest Angel. It's up there with, like, Nightmare Before Christmas for me. In terms of, like, Christmassy, you know, gone wrong. Now we come to the hollowed spot of #1 on my favorite zombie novels. This was really difficult to pick, okay? But, here you go. World War Z by Max, son of Mel, Brooks. World War Z is everything a zombie novel should be, okay? There are some moments in it that are really creepy. There are some really, really heartbreaking scenes. It's got the whole gamut of human emotion and human experience in here. The whole premise is that Max Brooks is the reporter/writer who is interviewing all of these people who have survived World War Z, which was the war against zombies. And he's got people that were, you know, soldiers, he's got, you know, the average person, he's got people from government, he's got likable characters and unlikable characters, he's got characters from all the way around the world. There are some really, really, really good bits in this book. Some of the interviews are just amazing. Some of the situations are, like, incredibly moving and incredibly horrifying. And it's just, that's what a zombie novel should be. Zombies, the good zombie movies are never just about zombies. They're never just about zombies eating people. There's always something more going on. There's some commentary about how society is decaying, or about the evils of consumption, or, you know, things like that. And so that's why I love World War Z so much, because it has that commentary in it. And it really shows humanity in all of its, you know, glory and in all of its horror. And Max Brooks is just an amazing writer. He's got a really deft touch with this book, and there are some really great, you know, scenes in this. So I highly recommend World War Z if you've never read it before. Also, as you can tell, I use this fucker as a major source in my thesis. There are tons of sections of World War Z that I reference in my thesis. So, it's a really good book. If you like zombie books, even if you don't like zombie books, even if you just like really well-written, serious books, check out World War Z. It's really good. I also just bought the audiobook because the audio cast is fucking amazing. I mean, Max Brooks himself does the narrator. And then you've got people like Jürgen Prochnow and Carl Reiner and Rob Reiner, and it's an amazing cast. I'm really excited to get to start listening to that. Before I end this vlog, there's one more book that I felt I need to mention, okay? It's not a novel, but it may be the best zombie book I've ever come across ever. This was my #1 source when I was writing my thesis, and it's the sort of book where even if you aren't writing a thesis about zombies, if you just love movies, if you love zombie movies, if you love charting the progress of certain themes or certain filming techniques, this book is the shit. And it's Book of the Dead by Jamie Russell. It's a great British book, and it's amazing. It covers everything from the very first zombie movie, which was White Zombie in 1932 with Bela Lugosi, all the way through to Shaun of the Dead and the Resident Evil movies. It is a couple years old, so it hasn't covered some of the more modern movies, like Zombieland, of course, but it is a really good book. It covers in depth a lot of stuff about, like, the filmmakers and what went into making the movies and how the movies reflected the times. It talks about Italian zombie cinema, like Fulci and the Blind Dead series. It's got stuff about Peter Jackson's early films, Shaun of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, the remakes, Resident Evil movies, everything. It's really good. There are great interviews, there are great pictures, and in the back there's this wonderful index of all of the zombie movies that were made prior to 2005. So if you've ever wanted to know anything about zombie movies, check this book out. It is the shit. It's really well written too, so you can read it and not even feel like you're like learning anything. It's just a really entertaining read. Highly recommend it. So that's my top 5 zombie books, plus a couple extra, just for, you know, extra padding, because I can't resist. I can never do just a straight top 5. Hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog. Hope you check out some of the books. I mean, even if you don't like just zombie stories, all of those books have other things to them, and they're really worth reading. They're worth spending your time or money on. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. Check you later.